Where does he talk about the Super Bowl halftime show? Is it here? Is he talking about the commercials? What's he talking about? I don't know if the conservatives made that big of a stink about the Super Bowl this time around.
Kind of strange, at least in the previews. Oh, here she's being followed. What is happening right now? Here we go. She's grabbing her crotch, of course. This happened multiple times last night.
It's hard. It's got to be. Ben's job is hard. Ben's job is hard. He has to find something wrong with every Super Bowl halftime performance, unless it's like, I don't know, like a country singer who doesn't say anything sexual or whatever. So he's like literally hamming it up. Okay. Like, of course she's holding her crotch. It's like, dude, this was probably the most like reserved halftime show in recent Super Bowl history. It was tame as partially because Rihanna is like very pregnant. You know what I mean? And he's still like, no, unacceptable. I'm so mad. This is so frustrating.
Because she was pregnant, she was much more modest than women have been in the past on this show. And she's kind of barely bouncing around. My wife and I were laughing at this last night because my wife is 6 months pregnant. So apparently significantly more pregnant than Rihanna. So we're just imagining her doing these dances, which would have been hilarious. But she couldn't do much last night. I get it. I mean, she's pregnant. Now, I have to say, the NFL and she and her agent, they all knew she was pregnant before she did the show. I'm going to suggest that the reason they did not announce that until after the show is specifically because they knew that she was not going to be good. So if they had said before the show, by the way, Rihanna's pregnant, people have been like, is it safe to put a pregnant lady on risers that are going like up 200 feet in the air with no guardrails? Like, is that like the best idea? And if they do it after the show, then that makes a good excuse for her not being very good last night with her COVID crew, her COVID cleanup crew last night. Here she was, once again, grabbing her crotch. There was a lot of crotch grabbage last night. It's still better than it had.
Bro, he is trying so hard. He's trying so hard,
has been at the Super Bowl for quite a while because the Super Bowl has been kind of a center of Vegas-style degradation for a long time. She's the most clothed that any of these female pop stars has been for quite a while. Here she was doing some crotch grabbing, of course. She's grabbing her butt. And now she has a tail or something. There's the COVID crew.
That's so funny. He can't find anything. He's just they're on autopilot, dude. They're on autopilot. He's like, yeah, it's Satan or whatever. Okay, she's grabbing her crotch. Vegas style degradation, he said.
Of kids who didn't watch the halftime show, they did. I mean,
I'm not even kidding. I think like Ben is more mad that it wasn't hornier. One, because he secretly likes it, and two, because he can't complain about anything. So he's like, this sucks.
Millions of kids watched the halftime show. The NFL knows this. This was less offensive than most of the shows. And just on a pure aesthetic level, it's a bad show. On a pure aesthetic level, it was 20 minutes of the same thing over and over. And all of her songs, I hate to say it, they sound the same. They have no range. She can't sing. It's an unpopular thing, but that's what we do here on the Ben Shapiro Show. We have unpopular.
What? Yo, that's okay. That's a wild take. Get his ass. Twitter, do your thing, okay?
Popular cultural opinions that are significantly more controversial, apparently, than like my opinions about politics, which is kind of amazing to me. But if I say two things, one, it's nice that she's pregnant, and two, she had a crap show last night, then everybody loses it. No, it was an amazing show, and you will love it. She's a beautiful woman of color who's pregnant. You will love that show. You will love it. And if you mention that it was a bad show and it was very unentertaining and incredibly boring, this
Dude, he's literally okay. Here's the funny thing. This betrays the argument that he constantly makes, which is that like you can't make like hypersexualized crazy displays because then he'll say it's satanistic, right? And perverted. But when you do a modest show as a consequence of your like pregnancy, a more modest show by every measure, so modest that even Ben has to fucking recognize it, then it's like kind of boring, and he wants to say it's boring. But also simultaneously, it's like, bitch, you want it to be boring. And when it's boring, you're like mad that it's boring. You can't win with these fucking freaks, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. If it's interesting and crazy and there's a lot of like these wild displays, then it's like, oh, well, you know what? It's fucked up. It's too horny. I don't like it. It's satanistic. They're perverting our children. Children should not be watching this. Okay. But when it's like modest, then he's like, well, it's modest because it's good, but also she's pregnant, so it's kind of boring.
This is probably because you're some sort of bigot. I mean, pretty sure it's just because it was kind of a boring show. It's kind of boring. There's your breakdown. So the Super Bowl overall, it wasn't like super duper woke. It wasn't as woke as it was in past years. It didn't even have the same level of controversy as it did last year when it was a bunch of rappers who actually had criminal histories.
That wasn't even controversial. Who gives a fuck? What? No. Who found that to be controversial? No one. Also, Super Bowl being woke is not necessarily controversial either. What the
Disney.
Bro, when he talks about like controversial rappers with criminal history, he's talking about Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and Dr. Dre, by the way. Like,
World
what?
A lot. I like Disneyland a lot. We were annual pass members in my family, but I'm not willing to patronize the same people who then subsidize a bunch of wokesters to indoctrinate my kids. I'm not willing.
Okay. Anyway, love this. He's kind of bent that he can't really like go too crazy over it. Yeah, Ben did say Ben, who is also a classically trained musician, a violinist, said Rihanna is bad objectively from a music standpoint. Somebody photoshopped the Star of David onto Rihanna's outfit, and some conservatives are freaking out that she was exposing America to Satanism. How will the masses know we're worshiping Satan? Easy. We're gonna put a pentagram on our devil suit. The blurry image appears to show 6-pointed star. Pentagrams have 5 points. But okay, but like, even if it was a pentagram, like, who gives a what the dude? People are fucking so insane, brother. That, I mean, it's cool. I've talked about this already. I mean, they're basically we are officially medieval peasants. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is medieval peasant shit. It's awesome. It's great. This has 14,000 likes, man. The internet is so fire that like the guy who normally you would like avoid at the subway station is now getting 14,000 likes because there's all the other 14,000 psychopaths like that guy can all congregate on Twitter and be like, no, you're so smart. Thank you. I love it, dude. For the record, this is awesome. No, I love I love living in a completely different plane of existence. And there are plenty of people like this. There are like normal people who have these kinds of opinions. Okay, so Rihanna did a halftime show. I didn't watch it. People are saying she was wonderful. I love Rihanna. I'm sure she was wonderful, okay? She has an insane catalog. So it's just not like she has an incredible catalog, an incredible backlog. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be good regardless, even if she plays her old hits. Here was a take. Special envoy for combating anti-Semitism and delegitimization of Israel, Noah Tishby. Let's hear what she had to say.
Okay, so I have a thought, and I'm not going to make too much of a fuss out of it because it's just not going to help. But I'm
going to say it. Okay, let's hear it.
Rihanna has so many hit songs. Did she have to do a Kanye song? Did she have to? Because the thing is that if a pop artist would have said
Sweaty! Pop off! Pop off! Did she have to do a Kanye? Did she have to do a Kanye song? Isn't it her? I mean, what song did she? I don't even know which song she's talking about. Is it, what is it? All of the Lights or whatever? Is that the one? That's the one she's talking about? Yeah, I mean, who cares?
on 3 on any other ethnicity, let alone everything else that he said, they would have been canceled and not played on the Super Bowl. That's that. So yeah, again, Jews don't count. They just don't.
Yeah, totally. That's that. Yeah. Showing this is anti-Semitism. Candace Owens take how conservatives lose culture. Nothing wrong with Rihanna's performance, but finding things wrong anyway. Dude, conservatives need to just like turn the fucking TV off, man. I mean, actually, I don't want them to do that because like it's really funny. I love when conservatives pop off about this shit. Okay, I love when conservatives pop off about this shit because like they just come across as like so unhinged whenever they're like Rihanna was doing satanic sacrifice on the stage. Like, I hate that.